Hello everybody, welcome back. Thought I would pop on here for a quick update, impromptu check-in, see how everybody's doing out there in isolation world. Strange new world we find ourselves in the last few weeks. It's been going mostly okay here. I've been kind of enjoying the aspect of being at home and pulling some things from the shelves that I haven't listened to in a while, refreshing my listening, if you will. Been actually quite enjoying that aspect of it. It's even inspired a couple of videos that will turn up down the line. But I've been trying to focus on doing some videos, do some posts. The inspiration kind of comes and goes. Some days the ennui sets in and it's hard to kind of focus on anything, get anything going. But when the energy and the focus are there, I've been trying to crank some stuff out for you guys for the future down the line. I also want to make a quick note. I am celebrating my 5-year anniversary in the vinyl community. Uploaded my very first introduction video in beginning of April 2015. Less gray hair in those days, but definitely been a fun journey through the vinyl community. It's kind of funny being in here that long. You see these successive generations of channels kind of pop up and come along. Some drop out along the way. Sometimes just put up a few videos and disappear. Sometimes they put out a huge rush of videos and then kind of burn themselves out. Some stay the course. So it's been kind of interesting to see that progression, see the different generations come and go. So what the future holds, who knows? Currently I'm enjoying doing these spotlight videos that I've been working on. I'm going to continue doing those as the energy and the focus and the commitment lasts. After that, we'll see what happens. But thanks to everybody who's been checking those out and watching those and commenting on them. Now this video is in response to a couple I've seen recently from a couple of vinyl community friends. John at 6-Inch Pianist and Stephen over at Psych in the Valleys, I think, started it. A Soul Jazz Records Appreciation thread. So I'm going to show a few of mine. It's my second or third attempt at doing this video. I kept pulling out too many records to show. I'm not going to do that this time. Both Stephen and John showed the Brown Sugar compilation, which I think was the most recent one I've picked up from Soul Jazz. I'm badly behind. I need to pick up more. Brown Sugar, I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks, compilation of UK lovers rock from the late 70s, very early 80s. These ladies never had an LP out at the time, so this collects various singles, some of them very collectible nowadays. And this is really where Soul Jazz excels. Detailed liner notes, great sound quality, always pressed on 2 LPs minimum, it seems. So you get that great dynamic sound quality with just 3 or 4 songs per side, and just putting things into context, bringing things forward into the 21st century. I actually had these next compilations. Soul Jazz earlier put out a couple of UK lovers rock compilations called Harmony, Melody, and Style. Very cool art design there, which is compilation of, again, of UK lovers rock. Not necessarily strictly reggae. There's a lot of soul and funk on here as well. Lovers rock was kind of a merging of heavy reggae sounds with sweeter soul influenced vocals, and you definitely see a lot of that on here. And just great photos in these booklets. Right there, iconic photo of UK sound man Sir Coxon, Lloyd Coxon. It's the UK lovers rock scene, which was an attempt to appeal more to the female demographic, which wasn't being served well at the time. I've done an upcoming video on the lovers rock scene, inspired by some of this recent listening. Like I said, I just had this one out for a spin recently. Great compilation that came in 2 volumes. Volume 2. Kind of a mixed bag with these various artist compilations. There's some songs you'll like better than others, but always worth a listen. The other side of the UK black music equation from lovers rock was jazz, funk, and soul. Nice compilation called British Hustle. I was just listening to this one with High Tension, British Hustle. I've actually got the LP of that. I thrifted that years ago. Nice find. UK jazz funk. I bought this off a friend of mine who was attempting to buy all the soul jazz releases. He kind of gave up after a while and downsized some of them, so he passed some on to me. Getting into some reggae, there's a compilation of Impact recordings from Randy's studio in Jamaica. Unreleased reggae, funk, and soul from the vaults of Impact and Randy's records. You don't see this one posted too much. I had the CD of this originally, and then I found this LP used a while back. You got Hortense Ellis's Great Woman of the Ghetto, as well as Tommy McCook, Lloyd Park, Jackie Matu, Augustus Pablo. All these various artists' comps are great stuff. As far as reggae goes, it's the Studio One catalog that Soul Jazz is mainly known for. They've put out many releases. I'm not going to pull all of them out. This is basically my my Soul Jazz section right here, with a few other ones filed away in different spots. But I've definitely got Studio One Dance Hall, Disco Mix, DJs. That's a great compilation there. Also have that one on CD. It's the first place I heard tunes like Jim Brown's Seen Him, Brigadier Jerry, Every Man of My Brethren. Great tracks. Studio One Groups, Ironsides. I think either Stephen or John was showing that one. And on it goes. The Roots series, all 3 volumes. Studio One Women. Lots of great stuff, various artists' compilations, again, kind of hit and miss. One thing that kind of I'm not a huge fan of with these soul jazz reggae compilations is they tend to go just very randomly. You can have a ska tune right next to a roots tune, right next to a dance hall tune, and kind of grouped together in these sometimes rather arbitrary categories. Whereas the Heartbeat Records label out of the US, which had an earlier long-standing relationship with Studio One, tended to focus on original LPs, reissuing them for the new generation of buyers, as well as some compilations. But Soul Jazz seems to go primarily for the compilation market, and they're all great stuff. You can't beat these compilations. Many of these tunes, they kind of have a mix of classics that are available elsewhere with very rare, obscure collector's tunes that you quite frankly are not going to own elsewhere. And it's a mark of the soul jazz quality, the sound quality, the presentation, the liner notes, that their editions are mentioned very favorably in this book I was just reading earlier, No Man is an Island, Guide to Choice Studio One Pressings, which is kind of a DJ's guide to all the variations and the pressings, which sounds better from a DJ's perspective of playing it in public. And the soul jazz releases are mentioned favorably as a very, very cost-effective, high-quality alternative to the original pressings in many cases. But probably the cream of one of the cream of the Studio One catalog as far as soul jazz goes was this one that came out in the early 2000s, Burning Spear at Studio One. There was kind of a race between soul jazz as kind of the new kids on the block to the Studio One catalog, and Heartbeat Records, which had this long-standing relationship with Cox and Dodd and the Studio One label. They were both putting out similar compilations at the same time. I'm not sure which one kind of came out first or was announced first, but soul jazz definitely presented these crucial early Burning Spear tracks for a new generation. Very high quality package. Wish I'd bought this one on vinyl, but only CD for now. But as far as other genres, I'm just going to quickly show a few more from the Studio One, or from the soul jazz label. Sorry. Philadelphia Roots. I think I got these from my friend as well. First compilation, looking a great overview of the Philadelphia sound, which was very influential in UK lovers rock and reggae as a whole. And these take not just looking at the Philadelphia International label itself, but the whole scene with different producers like Tom Bell, as well as Gamble and Huff. I think John was showing this one, Saturday Night Fish Fry. I'm pretty sure I got this one from my friend as well. Great New Orleans soul and funk. Just to show the diversity of genres that soul jazz puts out, and I only have a very few myself. There's many, many more. Country Soul Sisters, kind of a cheesy cover here. I swear when I was a kid growing up, we had a K-Tel 50s and 60s rock and roll compilation with almost the exact same kind of cover. But great stuff with Tammy Wynette, Bobby Gentry, Female Country, Tropicalia, the classic Brazilian album, the Tropicalia movement. That is also soul jazz release. Got that one. Again, kind of an unusual straight reissue of an original LP. I was just listening to this today and yesterday. The Lijadu Sisters. I definitely picked this one up from my buddy that he was letting go of. Great high life from these twin African sisters from Nigeria, mixed with soul, mixed with funk. Later relocated to the US. I think one of them just passed away the last few months, last year maybe. And they've also, Soul Jazz have also put out a great series of Latin compilations, which were very important to me in kind of expanding my knowledge of Latin music. I definitely have 4 or 5 of these, I guess. But I guess kicked off with New Yorka, Culture Clash in New York City. Great cover shot there. And you got stuff here like Harlem River Drive, Ricardo Marrero, Joe Bataan, Eddie Palmieri. Terrific stuff. Funky Latin stuff. So that, I guess, is my tribute to soul jazz. 5 years in the vinyl community. It's been a great ride. Thanks to you guys that have been there from the very beginning. Here's to many more videos to come. We'll see where it goes from here. And I hope everybody's hanging in there, hanging tough. Hang on to your music. Peace, guys.